about this last night with I think or maybe 2 nights ago, um, in the live chat on Curtis's live stream about AI art and writing. Buckle up and hold on to your hats because Jen has some thoughts. And on behalf of her Bachelor of Fine Arts in Art History and Studio Arts, there's some spicy thoughts, and also and a year into an MFA program. So I'm going to tell you this from the background of someone who has over 3 decades of experience in the arts, photography, and writing. I can say with whole heart, 100% fuck AI. And let's talk about this. Now, I'm going to relay some information to you because not something I kind of widely publicize here, but I come from the background of having like a lot of connections with like the high level technorati of the world, like people who own things and have founded things and invented things and stuff like that. I don't, it's part of my past existence and whatnot. But anyways, so from people, insiders, I can tell you one thing. What is being called artificial intelligence or AI when it comes to these AI art and like Chat GPT and Open AI and stuff like that? It's not actual artificial intelligence. It's not actual AI. It is something called machine learning. Machine learning is something that is very like, okay, machine learning is kind of like, okay, you know how like when you're on Facebook and it's how those algorithms are built. It learns based on repetitive actions, things you keyword search, the types of things you follow. So it's constantly learning and building things based on that. So on one hand, what we're looking at that's being called AI is part of machine learning, but it's machine learning that is fueled by a gigantic plagiarism engine. So when you're using AI art apps on your phone or computer, whatever, or you're plugging your face into them and making cute little profile pictures, it's all going into a machine. It's all going into something that can then use that again and again and again and again. So imagine, so thinking about this. So as I was explaining this is, so imagine having screen scraped all the information, all the art and photography and stuff like that on the internet and pulled it into whatever app. And that's what they did. They screen scraped this kind of thing. So imagine screen scraping everything from every art museum in the world, every art college, every artist website, every photographer, everything you have created. And then now I could just go in there now and go, give me Jumpin' Lucifer on a pogo stick in the style of Salvador Dali. And it turns out something based on that information, based on all of that stolen information. No one was compensated for that. No one gave their consent or permission to use their image and likeness, to use their style. As someone who's formally trained, we develop our own personal styles. Now, sure, if I go take my camera outside, if we all stood in front of my house and took a picture of my house, great, we've all got the same damn picture of my house. I'm not talking about that kind of thing. I'm talking about if we all sat outside of our house with, someone's painting in acrylic, someone's painting in watercolor, someone is using pastels, someone's using crayons, someone's using oil paint, and that sort of thing. We've now got several different styles and types of representations of my house. So in the style of each of those people. So now, while technically it is my house, that style is unique to each of those people. So looking at it from that perspective, now that's what's happening. Now, if you feed your face into one of these, there's and a lot of people are very, very like taken by the ooh shiny of it all. Like I'm constantly correcting people like the baby peacock thing, like, oh my God, I had no idea baby peacocks are that cute. I'm like, yeah, because it's AI generated. Baby peacocks are kind of boring. They're brown and unremarkable. They don't have big, wide eyes and, super cute and hyper real features the way that little picture that gets passed around. So it's blurring the lines of what is real and what is not. And as someone who worked in virtual reality for a period of time, and this is why I know a lot of the technology as well, is that there's something called the uncanny valley. And that is when we're looking at things that, like, I'm going to say AI in quotes, because plagiarism engine, it doesn't, whatever. But when you look at things like CGI, when you look at things that are so hyper real, like it causes this cognitive dissonance that causes this weird, like, when you look at sort of, okay, I'm going to use like a really kind of weird example for this, but like those sex dolls, like, that look, that are shaped tall, like, as compared to a blow up doll of years past, like these realistic, hyper realistic, sex dolls, it falls into that uncanny valley where it's like, it looks so real that it then circles back around to looking not like your brain can't quite comprehend it as being real. So that is something when you're looking at some sort of art, and that there's so much floating around on social media right now. Everyone's like, oh my God, how did they do this? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, AI, that's how they did it. They did it with like AI art generation. This doesn't exist. You can tell. And as someone, I've been doing art. I mean, if you want to go back to high school art classes, okay, well, what year is it? 33 years? So in the past 33 years, I can tell you a thing or two about art. So there's a lot of tells, especially on the things that mimic photography. And I have a blog post on my website. I'll probably link it below about that whole kerfuffle that around the Baphomet's book club thing that some asshat, AI artist, mind my manners, created. Well, okay, it was that particular thing I took issue with, because especially the ones that are kind of like pulling up the satanic imagery to kind of, I'm like, we got enough satanic panic shit going on. Please stop feeding it, because people think this shit is real because they can't look at this and go, that guy sitting in the chair also looks like he's part of the chair. Or, all the, how many babies have 10 fingers on every hand, or all of the emotionless faces. Because the thing is, with that type of uncanny valley, when you look at the faces, they're so lacking life and expression and the humanity of it. So it's easy for me to look at it and say, this is fake as fuck, and give you the spatial reasoning of every photo as to why this is fake as fuck. I'm like, well, okay, this doesn't line up here. This 6-year-old has the head of a 6-month-old, and this, okay, so this man is part chair, and so that book, like, it looks like it's heavy, yet it's being held like it's a piece of, like a feather. So things a lot of times lack weight, they lack spatial cognition, they lack shadowing. Like, if I'm sitting here, I'm casting shadows. There's shadows behind me. There's shadows, if I move my hair one way or the other, or anything. So it's missing stuff. And the hands are always a dead giveaway, because for whatever reason, AI just mangles them and makes them look monstrous. Like, if your baby looks like it might be part Cthulhuian, it's probably AI. So yeah, sure, baby Vikings, that's cute. It's also just AI. Stop sharing this stuff. It's just like, I'm tired of yelling at people, and I'm sure I've been unfriended and whatnot before, but I'm gonna keep educating, and I'm gonna keep talking about this, because what these are, it's a plagiarism engine. And it's like, I left. I was part of an Etsy group, and I left because I could not explain it to these people um, that I'm like, even if you're using a product photography AI thing, I'm like, well, okay, now you've just fed it your artwork, so it can be stolen, your image and likeness and stuff like that. I'm sure you'd be a little butthurt if someone started copying your work. Mm, or someone created, you put your little, fancy mirror in your gothic interior, and now suddenly you're seeing that all over the place because someone else pulled it out, and now your shit's everywhere. And is that going to help you buy your mirror? No, you've just had your work stolen. Sorry. And you willingly put it in there to steal. No one could understand this. I was clearly joking, and apparently, dear Etsy After Dark, yeah, I'm sorry. Laugh emoji bullying is bullshit. I'm Gen X. If I want to hurt your feelings, believe me, the laughing emoji is not my weapon of choice. So go back to your little safe space bubble rooms there, children. I loved the group beforehand, but the AI thing, I was like, nope, I'm gone. Because the thing that blows my mind are the number of creatives that don't see the problem with it. I'm like, let's look at what could possibly happen on the downside of AI art and photography and writing and stuff and videos. Because let's not forget one thing. Humans are awful. I'm sorry, we are. So hey, your office Karen there. You don't like her very much. Well, you can easily, take a picture, get a little video clip, whatever. You got a sample of her voice. Well, suddenly Karen's at a Yahtzee rally, or Karen's starring in some donkey porn. And you send that on to your boss, and Karen loses her job. It's going to make revenge porn a lot easier for people. So, let's think about these downsides, because they're very real. Do you want your image and likeness to end up in Speedo type films for particular people who are ill? Because that's coming. It's probably already here. You see all the deep fakes that are out there, and it was, we were able to do that shit with Photoshop, but it was also kind of a little more obvious with that. But this is also why the Writers Guild and the Screen Actors Guild are on strike, because you get no control over your own bodily autonomy. You get scanned once, and suddenly you can be in any movie, not get compensated, and your image and likeness can be used and make billions of dollars for other people, but you're maybe making $20,000 a year. Fuck no. So we really have to think very hard about these things. Like right now, AI, the tarot community is being royally screwed with the AI, because people spend, and I'm sure, I know people who have created tarot decks and stuff. The amount of time it takes to create the artwork for that many fucking cards, and now these AI artists are doing keyword stroking in some shit and making an AI tarot deck overnight, and it's harming actual creatives, actual people with talent. AI art is nothing more than a fucking glorified Google search. I am sorry, you are not an AI artist. You're a piece of shit, no talent hack. And if you are an artist using AI, learn a thing, because yeah, go burn your degree. Yeah, this is like writing your dissertation, you citing only Wikipedia and like maybe Reddit. That's the street cred you got on there. And if I'm offending you, good. On behalf of my mountain of student loans that I may never pay off for my fucking arts degree. So now I can see the benefit of where these things kind of seem like they might have some use for things like I have a hard time sitting down writing. So something like Chat GPT would be helpful for me to like get the nuts and bolts in there of a basic thing, just so I have some place to start, because some of that goes into my neurodivergence. But then everything I write using that also gets, shoved into the chat GPT engine, and anyone else can use it without my permission, without my compensation, without anything. So there's another issue. And a lot of what was pulled into chat GPT is from unreliable sources. So yes, if you want to use chat GPT to write your term paper for you, realize that that may be based on Reddit and Wikipedia articles, not reliable sources that you would want to have for an academic paper or a thesis or a dissertation. Believe me, I've written enough academic papers in my life as a art history major to tell you it takes a lot of work to get those cited sources and things. I've had to order books from galleries in Europe to get that, because that information wasn't available right now. This was 20 years ago, but it's something to consider. So another thing, pardon, to consider with that is it's the garbage in, garbage out methodology. And if you're not familiar with that, hi, I'm Jen. I've literally done everything. So a lot of what I did in my previous incarnations and office jobs is I did a lot of information architecture, database management, and things like that, or data management, whatever. So there's something called, there's an expression we use, garbage in, garbage out. So let's just take like a contact form. Basic first name, last name, address, city, state, zip, phone number, email. So if whoever was entering the information in that database put the emails in the phone number field and the last name in the address field, now when that's in that database, you're gonna have a hell of a time pulling out accurate information because things are all in the wrong places. Garbage in, garbage out. So, that's again another thing that kind of, especially maybe more so on the chat GPT, the writing side of it and that. So that's something to consider. It's also worth noting that there's many authors who are suing them for having pulled in their copyrighted works because, hey, why get the book when you can go chat GPT, give me a summary of blah, blah, blah book by blah, blah, blah. So all that work was pulled in there. Those authors weren't compensated and they did not give their consent. So where I can see AI having benefits are in like scientific studies in the medical field, things like that, where you're crunching large numbers of data. Like if you've ever had a sleep study done, I mean, though a sleep study produces, what was it about? I'm trying to remember because it was a long time ago when I had mine done, like 900 pages of data. Well, okay, imagine having to read 900 pages of data and analyze it and come up with, gee, you have sleep apnea based on this, and what type of sleep apnea or something. So that to be able to push that through a machine to analyze all that data, I can get that. That makes perfect sense. But, destroying the creative class, and we're not talking about people here who are making, $1 bazillion a year. We're talking about, I mean, are we just going to see all the graphic design departments go away? What about the kids in art school now? It's kind of like, what's the point? I'm like, well, gives me one more reason to never pay my student loans back. But I got a lot out of my arts degree that you can't get out of using a bullshit AI art or photo app. it's even to the little things of lighting and placement and just understanding composition and understanding so many little nuanced things and the styles that go into that. And I'm sorry, but if you're typing in like, you know, give me a witch and a cat and a blah blah blah, I'm sorry, you're a glorified Google search type entering thing. You're not an artist. You're a no talent hack who's trying to be an artist. And believe me, it's easy. It seems like it would be. Um, what's the harm in it? Well, on behalf of all of us with art degrees at work in creative fields, whether we are graphic designers, artists, painters, anything, sculptors. Well, I can say one thing. Without regulation, without clear laws, and without clear fair usage rights or what's the definition now of what is plagiarism, we're going to need another kind of thing that happened in 2020 to kind of thin the population herd, because otherwise the economy is going to crash even further. Because think of the hundreds of thousands of people who work in creative jobs, and probably even millions around the world. Where are those people going to work? If you've been a graphic designer for 25 years, what are you going to be retrained in that is comparable to the type of salary and talent that you have? Not everyone has transferable skills in that sense. And it's not just, keeping up with the times and stuff like that. Yes, you can learn a new program, you can learn a new this, that, or the other thing, but this is eliminating the humanity from the arts and humanities. And that just seems so gross. Like, use AI to get rid of, like, how about AI to change my cat litter, to take out my trash, to, make me a grocery list. So when I go freaking grocery shopping, I remember to get the groceries I need to get, because somehow that never happens. I can go grocery shopping and come home and not have anything to eat because I'm an idiot. But really, at the end of the day, what this whole AI hype thing it is yet another tech bro grab at fast cash. It's your blockchain, Bitcoin, crypto. It's the new that. So take that what it is, and please, please say no to AI. Speak out against its use in the creative fields. Support your artist friends, support your authors, support your actors and writers and all those people. Support humans. Because if not, I don't know what's going to happen. I know a lot of author friends, and there was one case I saw recently where and this is something that happens in the writer community a lot. It's not anything new. It's just that AI made it easier to do. Well, someone basically used AI to generate books under a known author's name and publish them. She can't get them removed from Amazon. She can't get them. They're attached to her Goodreads things. She didn't write them. She's not being compensated for them. They were written by someone else pretending to be her, using AI to write it in her style. So you're having all of the hucksters and grifters and no talent hacks ruining people's livelihoods, things we've built. Not everyone can sit down and write a novel. I know I couldn't. Not everyone can sit down and paint a masterpiece. Not everyone can sit down and write and draw and do all these things. And to eliminate that human creativity And to put it into the, I'm sorry, most of the AI art I see coming out and photography is just bad. It's not even, I'm like, I would like point and laugh at it if I saw it in a gallery. Bad. And as someone with a art history degree, I evoke my bitch art critic self to say AI art sucks. Like, I'm sorry, you might be like the ooh shiny of it all. It's not all that. Trust me. Anyhow, yes, I am judging you. I am looking down my nose at you, and I do that with great pride. Don't, don't. I and other people are very strong, that feel very strongly about this, will not work with businesses or individuals who use AI in that manner. Um, at best, I hope that places are at least open. Like, I love the fact, like, I use a paid stock image website for like when I make my YouTube thumbnails and stuff like that. And I love the fact there's now a little button that says exclude AI generated art. That gives me the option because I don't want to use AI generated art. Even in my fucking thumbnails, I don't want to use it. So having that option, that is fine to me. I'm sorry if I looked at someone's website and I'm like, oh, they're using an AI stock photo website. I'm not going to buy from them, or not stock photo, but there's now apps where, let me find something that's my glasses. So instead of taking my picture, my glasses like this, or over here or whatever, now there's AI where you can do product photos. So now your glasses are floating by a stream in Italy somewhere. I'm sorry, if you're using that kind of thing, I wouldn't buy from you. I won't support you. And with someone who collaborates with other creators, I won't collaborate with people who use AI for art and photography and writing and things like that. Because I'm taking a firm stance on it as a creative person, as someone who has, run the gamut through the creative fields over the years. And knows a lot of creatives. This is that one of the hills I am willing to die on, is the AI. It's not AI, it's plagiarism. And if you're putting your face into there, hey, guess what? You may end up in revenge porn somewhere, or being used. Do you want to be used as a background face for a political party you don't support? Let's think about that. So anyways, I've been ranting for almost half an hour on this. I could probably rant for a half an hour more, but let's just summarize. This is not actual AI, it's machine learning plagiarism engines. Consent and compensation for creative work. We are already always being undercut on our value that we put into the things we do. You're looking at decimating entire creative classes of people who are struggling to survive already. Do you really want to make more tech bro millionaires, billionaires, whatever? Stop simping for billionaires. My fucking God, that one gets me. You want to support people like me, support people like your friends who have, do arts and crafts and stuff like that. Stop supporting billionaires. Jesus Christ. On a pogo stick. Yeah. So it's garbage in, garbage out. AI art is garbage. AI writing is garbage. If you're using AI for art and writing, you're garbage too. And I will say that with pride, and I will say that as long as there are air flowing through these lungs, and then I will come back and haunt you and still say AI is garbage. Because I feel very passionate about that. And on behalf of my Bachelor of Fine Arts and in art history and studio arts, I salute you. Gen X style. Love y'all. I hope this gave you something to think about and to consider. And please don't buy AI tarot decks. Don't buy AI schlock. Don't buy AI art. If you have questions, ask. Ask, is this, because we're now at the point where we have to say, this is, I painted this myself. It isn't, AI shit. So anyways, ask questions, support humans, support creatives, stop simping for billionaires. And I love you all. Have a good one.